If you've ever been anywhere near the family court system, you know the feeling. It's this cycle. A judge makes an order, everyone has the best intentions, but then nothing really changes. Families end up right back where they started, stuck in this really frustrating, seemingly endless loop. Today, we're going to look at a playbook that's designed to finally break that cycle.
And this, right here, is the absolute heart of the problem. A judge says, go get help, but there's literally no system to check if that person ever actually followed through. You know, it's like sending a critical email and just hoping it gets there with no delivery receipt. This one little failure point is the source of so much dysfunction.
And what happens because of that? Honestly, it's pretty heartbreaking. For the parents, it's just this constant conflict. For the professionals who are trying to help, it's total burnout. But really, the ones who pay the highest price are the kids. They're stuck in the middle of all this instability, right when they need security the most.
Okay, so let's really dive into this concept. We have to understand how this thing works, or, well, doesn't work, before we can talk about fixing it. So, what exactly is this black hole?
Think about it like this. A court sends out this super important piece of information, a referral for mental health services maybe, but it never gets a confirmation that the message was received. Did the parent make the call? Did they actually get an appointment? Are they even going? The court is basically flying blind, making these huge, life-altering decisions for a child based on total guesswork.
And this isn't just some small administrative issue. The real-world damage is massive. Families just keep coming back to court because the core problems never get fixed, and it creates this really toxic situation where therapy itself gets weaponized. It becomes ammunition one parent uses against the other, and all the while the kids are just trapped in all that chaos.
So if the problem is an open loop that creates this black hole, well, the solution seems kind of obvious, right? We have to close the loop. This next part is all about the core idea that changes the entire game.
I mean, look at the difference here. It's like night and day. You go from these vague orders to a really clearly defined pathway, from zero follow-up to two-way confirmation. And this is the big one. The court's guesswork gets replaced with objective data. The whole focus shifts from, winning the argument to actually creating measurable stability for the child. So how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's just a clear, logical sequence of events. First, the court pinpoints a specific need. Then, it orders a pathway to address it. And, this is key, makes sure there's a warm handoff to a provider. That means a real connection is made, not just handing someone a phone number. After that, the provider simply confirms attendance, a simple yes or no. The court sees that data and can then directly link that progress to positive changes, like in the parenting plan. See? It's all connected.
All right, so we get the what and the why. Now let's get into the how. Because this isn't just some high-level theory. It's a practical, step-by-step model that courts can actually put into practice.
The whole approach is gradual. It's not an all-or-nothing deal. It starts with just step 0, getting connected and stable. Then you move to showing you can consistently engage. Once a parent demonstrates that reliability, they start to earn positive outcomes, like more time with their kids. It's all about building trust through action, and as stability grows, the court can slowly step back.
And this right here, this is the revolutionary idea at the center of it all. The judge is not ordering therapy. They're ordering a verifiable process. They're ordering you to make the call, attend the session, and have it confirmed. This keeps the court out of the therapist's office and focused only on what it can legally and ethically track. Did you follow through?
Okay, so a big question you might be having right now is, couldn't this new system be abused too? Well, the people who designed this playbook, they thought of that. And they built in a really critical set of safeguards to prevent it.
For this whole thing to work, everyone, and I mean everyone, has to play by the same set of rules. And these rules have to be crystal clear, super strict, and totally non-negotiable.
These rules basically create a firewall to protect the process. Therapy notes are private, period. Clinicians are protected. They don't get dragged into court to testify about custody. The reporting is just simple, objective data. Yes, they showed up, or no, they didn't. This stops the process from being used as a weapon and keeps everyone focused on the only thing that matters, stability.
The playbook even gives everyone a script to help reinforce these boundaries. It starts with the judge, who sets the tone from the very beginning. They make it clear, this isn't about judging whether you're a good or bad person. It's just about verifying that you're following the plan. The provider's role is also made incredibly clear. Their job is to provide treatment, not get sucked into a legal fight. This script protects their ethical boundaries and, most importantly, keeps the therapeutic relationship safe for the client.
And finally, the attorneys are guided to shift their client's entire focus. Instead of trying to attack the other parent, the advice becomes really simple and constructive. Just do the work. Show up. And if something is getting in your way, document it. It becomes about personal accountability, not about accusation.
So what happens when you do all this? Well, you don't just help one family at a time. You start to generate data, real, meaningful data that can actually help make the entire system smarter and more effective.
So instead of relying on he said, she said arguments and emotional stories, the court can now look at a dashboard of real, objective signals. What's our appointment completion rate? Are emergency motions going down? Are kids showing up to school more consistently? These are the things that actually measure family stability.
And you can zoom in on really powerful metrics like this one, time to intake. This one number tells you exactly how long it takes from the moment a judge makes an order to when a family actually gets help. In the old system, that could be months or, never. In a closed-loop system, you can measure it and you can manage it. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this one fundamental shift. The court stops being a reactive referee in some chaotic, endless game and instead becomes a proactive manager, using real data to guide families toward a more stable future. That's the whole point. And that really leaves us with this final, powerful question to think about. This whole playbook suggests a radical reframing of the entire system. What if every decision, every court order, and every professional involved wasn't focused on a victory for one parent over the other, but was instead completely aligned around creating a predictable, stable, and safe world for the child who's caught in the middle?